All right, sports ball fans, here we go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen in TV land, YouTube Sports and Tacos, Mondays, Thursdays, and Sunday Fun Day. Come join us, YouTube Sports and Tacos. No, not good.
Another super amazing edition of Sports and Tacos coming at you. Let's see, we have Spencer Cadigan, your host as usual. We got everybody back on today. We got Tony Pantoja, Robert Humphreys, our new buddy Mike Baylash. Should have a pretty good show for you tonight. Our buddy, he's becoming a regular. Paul Pratt is going to be coming on here in a minute. He's an ex-Detroit Lion, played for the Lions for a while. We're going to talk some football as training camp is started. Man, it's crazy to think that football is right around the corner, but football is right around the corner. Training camp stuff's already happening. So we're going to talk some football with Paul, and then we should have ex-superstar football or baseball player Greg Vaughn should be coming on, and I think around, I don't know, about 30 minutes into the show. So the first half, we're going to talk football. And second half, we're going to dive into baseball with Greg Vaughn, hopefully. So it looks like Paul is trying to hop on. But, yeah, football's right around the corner. Last week, we were talking about...
Go Broncos!
Yeah, God, I'm hoping. I'm hopeful about the Broncos,
We played Saturday night against the Cardinals. Second string, third string, and trying to make a string is all going to be playing that day.
Yeah,
So Spencer, that'll be like the regular season game last year me and Tony went to and watched the Cardinals and the Broncos play, and it was all backups on both sides. And the Broncos won, so maybe that's what you get.
Yay!
That was regular season.
That was a regular season game? Yeah,
McCoy and Rippon were the two starters, I think it was that day. And
it was a Kodak moment, man. It was a Kodak moment.
So, there we go. Paul Pratt. How's it going, man?
Good, Polly boy.
Doing good. Busy. What's going on?
Ready for some football coming up. Yes.
Absolutely. It's going to be a great year.
Your lines are going to be good this year.
Are you ready for some foosball? How you been, Paul? How's your summer? Anything new with you?
Yes, man, so much is going on. So much is good stuff. I just been, grinding, training. Got a lot of athletes I'm able to impart my wisdom on and be a mentor for, whether they're male or female. It's been a really blessed summer of training, and Noah Water is expanding. So I'm proud of that. So been very busy, and it's only going to be going up for here, and I'm very excited for this football year because I'm excited from junior high all the way up to professional. I got a piece of football from junior high all the way up to professional this year, so I'm happy.
Nice.
Congratulations, bro.
Heck yeah.
Thank you.
Sweet. So, are your Detroit Lions going to win the Super Bowl this year?
Well, golf has been there before, so I guess we say we always have a good chance. But I'm happy that
cutting out a little bit. Say, what was that?
I said, well, golf has been there before, so if we get back, at least we know he has some type of Super Bowl experience. But I'm very hopeful that we can win the division for sure over Kirk Cousins, and because no more Aaron Rodgers, so he's out. So I'm happy about that.
And what are you thinking about those good old mighty Bears, brother?
I'm not worried about the Bears, although they always have a great defense, and but I should be worried about the Bears when I think about it because I think Justin Fields. I think he's going to get better this year. I think he was getting a lot of hate, but I think he's going to be better this year.
Yeah, he was running for his life last season. I do admit that.
But he ran really well.
Yeah.
He ran really well, though.
Really well.
That's the catch. He ran really well.
Yeah, definitely.
The catch is, though, he's a quarterback.
Aaron Rodgers is out of that. Aaron Rodgers is out of that division. So, yeah, anybody, there's no reason that the Lions should not win that division this year. I mean, the Vikings, does anybody really think the Vikings are, going anywhere?
They'll compete.
I mean, all you got to do is.
They're there every
But
year.
everybody confidence goes up now. You know what I'm saying? We got no more big bad. We got no big bad. No more big bad wolf. You know what I'm saying? It's like everybody.
See, one thing about it, but Mr. Pratt, you got to understand this, man. For Minnesota, they got rid of their Mr. Running Back, Mr. Cook. They got rid of Cook. He's cooking somewhere else right now, and he's probably cooking good.
He wasn't that big of an asset last year, and his numbers have been going down. And we see what the league has been doing towards running backs value lately. So it's the passing league, and it's about being able to play defense. But I believe in running backs. I still believe that running is part of the game, and I feel like as people get away from it, I think the people who kind of stay traditional, it's gonna come up big in times when it needed to be. Like kind of like Golden State always shooting threes, but you kind of see the game going back to getting the twos. Like, hey, we can get twos too. You know what I'm saying? Like, so don't be afraid to run the football. So.
Yeah, that's
Hey man, I agree with you, bro.
I wanted to touch on that because it's kind of a sad era right now for running backs, man. Running backs it's probably the least valued running backs have ever been. And I wanted to get your opinion about that, Paul. Is it just, the evolution of football? Basically that running backs, they're being treated like sheep, whatever. It's weird. It's weird that wide receivers have become so much more valuable than running backs over probably the last 5-10 years.
Well, if you think about it, Spencer, look at San Francisco, what they use on what's his name, the wide receiver, McCaffrey. But look at the wide receiver, the one that got hurt last season.
Debo or Ayuk?
Yeah, Debo. Look what happened with Debo. When Debo has the ball, they give him the pitch in the back. He could run it up the gut. He could throw it. He could pass it. He could catch it. That boy is good, man. Everything's changed. This year is going to be all about wide receivers. Next year, maybe might be running backs, but I'm looking at more defense next year than anything because everybody always needs defense.
But the rules have changed. The rules have become more wide receiver and quarterback friendly. So why would you run the ball? I mean, I'm a big believer of ground and pound, beat the team up, and then spread the field out from there. But the rules are just too much for quarterbacks and wide receivers. It's too hard to defend and play against. So that's why their running backs are undervalued.
Well, you also they're going more towards pass catching running back.
Yeah.
They're more hybrid. Way more hybrid. Yes.
I mean, I would just love to see a big running back just pound the ball, like
Henry.
So basically, just the
to
rules.
see more of those,
I just feel like we're past the era of that barrel cat running back that last 7 to 10 years in the NFL. That staple in the franchise. I mean, when the running backs. I mean, how can you be mad though if you see like running backs are dying out every 2 or 3 years? If running them hard, maybe the 4th year, then they're not the same anymore. So I mean, they're only looking at what's presented to them. It's not like they wanted to value them. So the running backs have to find a way to make more value for themselves, and that's to be a split, be able to go outside, inside. Maybe say, hey, I'm only going to have 200, no more than 200 carries, or no more than 250 carries this year, and the rest passing. But it still touches. They're always getting hit. So, that's why they need 2 running backs, so to take some of the load off. So.
Do you know what's
Yeah,
changed? Is
that's
there
true.
something in the training that's changed? Because I mean, I remember
Well,
growing up, you had your Emmitt Smiths, you had your running backs that would take a majority of the snaps, play 10, 7, 8 years, and now you have running backs that are explosive, but they only have a good like 3-4 year time frame, and then they're also
shelf
splitting
life.
their
Yeah.
and they're splitting their touches. Is it training or what's really cut short the running backs longevity?
Unfortunately, Mike, I agree. Go ahead, Mike. Go ahead and Mr. Pratt, go for it, buddy.
Yeah, I believe. Like I said, from a philosophy standpoint, the game is changing. It's going more air. And then from a physical standpoint, well, we're getting stronger and faster. Every year, like as far as the training, everybody's getting more explosive, more faster. So even though they try to make this game more safer, they're just making it more pinpoint. You know what I'm saying? So people are getting bigger, stronger, and faster. So that means the running back's going to wear and tear faster. If the D tackles are moving faster and getting stronger, that's more wear and tear on. You're still taking a bigger punishment as running back. You know what I mean? So they're breaking down even sooner than they would before, because usually used to be running backs is giving all the pain, but now like everybody's getting bigger and stronger and faster, and running backs, they can't even dip their head like
Yeah.
that how they want to anymore either. So they're kind of taking more of a banging
Hey, Paul,
all around.
Paul, when you were playing in the NFL, what were you like more afraid of? A team that could throw the ball like crazy, or a team with like just a sick running back that you knew was gonna tear you up running the football?
Yeah, I think the biggest, well, I hate to say fear because I don't like to say scared, but I think we'll be more worried about a big running back, because once they start running downhill, the linemen start getting more confident. Like I remember seeing Adrian Peterson, like one game, but we did good against him. But I was like, but I remember a few weeks before that he destroyed us. When he came to Detroit, we kind of contained them better. But yeah, a big BC running back, that's gonna be a lot of pain. We want to play finesse and be in the air a lot. Okay, we can do that. Whether you have a great receiver, we can double him. We can play zone. It's more fun. But we got a downhill football team, and it gets physical. A lot of the outside, DBs and they don't want all that smoke. So I would say, yeah, a physical running game is not what type of games I like, even whether in high school, college. You know what I'm saying? And when it gets physical, you get tested, especially in the cold weather.
Yep.
See, I agree with all you guys on this. I really do. I agree with all you guys, what you're saying, but you're thinking about it. The last couple of years, it has been about the wide receivers and the quarterbacks. Everything was battling with the quarterback. Now the quarterback's in. Now it's all about the wide receivers. Everybody forgot about the running backs, but one thing what the running backs are doing right now, they're pulling an Eddie McCaffrey where he's blocking, he's catching the ball, but he's also running. But at the same time, you got to think about it, man. How many of those running backs are going to actually catch that ball? Some of them, they just know how to hold the rock and go. But you know what?
Yeah.
It's a new era.
It's a new era. You got to catch.
Yeah,
College can catch now, especially coming out of college. You run offenses where you're supposed to run out and catch balls out.
Agreed.
Safety valve.
Other than the Titans, is there any teams that really focus on the run more than the Titans?
Well, Baltimore does, but we're going to air it out this year.
Yeah.
We was run 70% of the time in a sense, but yeah, till Lamar got hurt.
But you know what? You know what position kind of disappeared though is the fullback position. You remember? That's
what was the last team? If you think about it, there hasn't been a team that.
No, if there's a fullback, he's a blocker.
Wait a minute. Yeah. Rathman,
Rathman was the last main one that I remember.
Yeah,
Steelers have Watt. Steelers have Watt's brother, or had him.
Yeah,
they had Derek.
Watt. Not too many teams even probably keep a fullback on the roster anymore. Like the Broncos used to use.
The NFL,
Go ahead.
The NFL is a copycat league. So if somebody decides to say, you know what, forget all this passing stuff, I'm gonna go some heavy dose of. I think the Patriots do a lot of run game, 22 personnel with you know what I'm saying, double tight end. Someone start doing that and it starts working a lot. People are like, oh, hold on, let's get these. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, they're
It's like,
copycat.
kind of like 3-pointers
copycat.
in basketball. Everybody try, if it works,
That's it.
everybody's gonna try and copy it, you know. But it's just
Yeah,
kind of
you gotta
crazy.
have
I
a
mean,
you've got to have a physical running back on your team. So to get those 1 or 2 yards to beat them right there, you can't always depend on the pass to get those 1 or 2 yards for a first down or a touchdown or whichever. You got to be able to move that ball with a ground game. So you can't
But
go
the quarterbacks are, yeah, and quarterbacks are hybrid too. They want quarterbacks that can kind of move and run now. They don't want nobody just. They don't. I think Tom. Just there's no Tom Brady this year. I think we've seen the last Tom Brady.
I called
it.
I don't know. I think the San Francisco 49ers might pick up the phone still. That's what I think. Because, you know, seriously, you know, like we've talked about before, Paul, if you put Brady on the 49ers right now, I think that's going to lead into my next topic. That would be the only possible team, a Tom Brady-led 49ers, that could stop the Chiefs from winning the Super Bowl again this year, other than Patrick Mahomes getting injured. There is
All right, Shotgun. Who's the starting quarterback of the 49ers right now?
It's Purdy, right? That's what I'm saying.
It should be, yeah.
So if the Niners and the Chiefs met in the Super Bowl right now, there's no way on God's green earth I'm taking the 49ers over Patrick Mahomes. I don't care who you are. Mahomes, they only got stronger this year. That was going to be my next question. Who can even think about beating the Chiefs in the Super Bowl this year?
If they make it.
If they make it, you still got the Bills in the play, brother. You still have the Cincinnati Bengals. You have the Baltimore Ravens. You have, oh my gosh, and the boy that's got the poster on the wall, Jacksonville.
And he smoked all of those teams. All of them.
Brother, you know I love you to death.
One game was even really close.
I think Buffalo's beat them a time or two in the regular season.
In the regular season, I'm just saying, you know, they had all their draft picks. That team, there was a ton of, like I was saying before, that was the least.
I think the Broncos are going to be better. The Broncos are going to be better. Remember, Sean Payton.
Thank you very much, there, Mr. Pratt.
No, there's a lot of teams.
I got to give them that love.
Thank you, Mr. Pratt.
So I'm just saying.
They are going to be better. They are going to be better.
Unless the San Francisco 49ers get Tom Brady to come out of retirement, that is the only team that I could see beating the Chiefs this year. The Chiefs only got stronger. They had
oh my gosh. And I call you a Bronco fan.
Who? Like, okay,
you.
So 1,000. Yeah, they just lost Tim Patrick. The Broncos aren't doing anything. How in the hell? I'm sorry. I don't want to dive into this yet, but how are they going to be good losing their best wide receiver? What magic is Russell Wilson?
We still have magic in our hat there, sunshine. All you got to do is believe and look up, baby.
Yeah. If we have a winning season, it will be a miracle. That's what I think.
Now, Broncos will be better than you. Sean Payton will be better than you. Sean Payton what they had last year. It's going to be a better team.
And from my understanding from Broncos training camp, going very well. Training camp, they're going very well.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they're going very well. But they're always going well in training. So I don't know. It's just I'm not super hopeful.
Watch out for the Ravens, man. With a top defense last year, coming back this year, we got the new coordinator from Georgia that's supposed to air the ball out, let Lamar throw the ball, which he can do, like he showed in his MVP season a few years ago. Running back stay healthy. We also signed your ex-Bronco, Melvin Gordon, to help go along with J.K. Dobbins and the rest of the boys there. Watch out for Baltimore. They're going to be a sneaky team.
I hate to say this too though, because I'm not a fan though. But if Aaron Rodgers does Aaron Rodgers stuff, and he plays great, and he's a team player, I think they have a shot to go. They have a shot to go far. And I agree with you. I'm an Aaron Rodgers hater. I'm just saying the Jets have the form. They have the defense to go deep into the playoffs, and they're making a lot of noise in the AFC. So I want to see if it's a Jets, KC, division playoff, or divisional, or AFC championship. That's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
You know,
if
the Jets
if
finally
that's-
have a coach. They finally
Well,
have a
that's-
coach.
Yeah, that's true.
And week one's great, man, because they put Jets and Bills. So you get to find out what, kind of both of them have right at the beginning right there.
Right off the top, right?
And that one I
That's
take
going to
the
be
Bills.
that's going to be a tough division.
That's gonna be
Bills
hard.
would be the favorite, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't bet any money on anybody in that division.
I'm with you on that one, man. I think, honestly, yeah, I'm with you, because they're going to beat each other up all day long right there.
Bet
I mean,
per
what-
game,
what
and
is
I'll
it-
take the over and under.
Would you be surprised if New England shocked anybody? No. I mean, I guess the only surprise would be if the Dolphins won.
I wouldn't be surprised with them. If Tua's healthy, that is a really dangerous team right there.
He scares me, man. He's had too many concussions. You don't know what.
No, yeah, for sure. Like I say, yeah. He's a beast when he's healthy, though, when he's got some good talent around him.
Yes,
It did hurt. It did suck from losing, Jalen Ramsey getting a tour in the ACL. Wasn't that him who tore his ACL the other day for the Dolphins? I think so. That wasn't good for him, but you can always make up for that. They had a pretty good defense last year and hung tough with the Bills and everybody. But
there's a lot of if, ands, buts, and maybes out there. I don't see anybody. If Patrick Mahomes stays healthy, dude, I don't see anybody coming close.
what are they going to win?
It doesn't matter. They've only got. They could. I mean, they've only gotten better. All those rookies from
And I
last
call
year's
you a
team,
Bronco fan.
all those rookies from last year's team are now second-year starters with a ring on their finger. I don't.
You know
see
how
it.
hard it is
They
to
had-
read.
They had all their draft picks. Like they didn't do anything. I didn't think they were going to win it last year. But dude, I'm just saying, this to me is one of probably the least interesting football seasons that we're going into. This is like when the Patriots. Because seriously, like
You got the hopes and belief. Okay, no. Hey, Shotgun, before
when
you even
Alabama was
more,
on a roll.
think about what you say on this because of the fact you're looking at Cleveland right now. They're looking at this new quarterback that loves getting massages, but at the same time, he's going to actually start the season. You got a Pittsburgh group where they have nothing but puppies, but they're all good. They're number one.
Not worried about nobody but Mike Tomlin. Nobody else on the team.
And then you got Jacksonville where you got Sunshine, and you're thinking he's going to be your number one on your poster. Then you got Cincinnati, my brother. And then you got the Eagles, the beloved Eagles. Go Eagles, hey. But at the same time, Washington, they got a new ownership where they want to start something up. I'm calling everything. I'm just calling Shotgun wrong.
No, I'm not wrong. This is like when you knew, Alabama most likely every year is going to win a national championship, or when
You're looking at half of it.
in their
You're looking at half
dynasty.
of it. I
That's
mean,
all I'm
maybe.
saying.
Really? Are you serious?
Yeah,
I said NFC and AFC. Shotgun. I don't know how many posters and holes you have in your wall, but
I'm
damn
sorry,
it.
It's just the way it is,
Now, Spencer,
The-
picking the best team's easy to do, like you did right there, but they're not going to win it again. 2 in a row is hard, brother. You know how hard it is to win, too.
There's
No,
Look
there's
at
so
the
many good
NFL
teams
now.
this year. This is probably one of the best years for parity.
Yeah,
At
this
least,
is definitely.
At least on paper.
Yeah,
Because you look, like I said, you look at.
See, I agree with Mikey.
The Jets, the Patriots, the Dolphins. Then you got the Steelers, the Ravens, the
There's a-
Browns, the Bengals. I mean, you have a handful of divisions that you're not talking under 500 teams fighting to win the division. You're talking 2 divisions right there that are going to beat the crap out of each other, and you're going to get good football because almost every team is not a contender, but can win the division. I mean,
Right.
you look, you
Well-
can't. The Steelers have gotten better. As long as the Bengals get Burrows back, they're going to be a favorite. The Ravens have gotten better. The Browns are the Browns. We'll just leave it at that. They could be good, they could be bad, but they're the Browns. And then, like I said, you go the other side. You got the Jets, you got the Bills, you got the Patriots, you got the Dolphins, and even the other New York team, the Giants, the Eagles, the Cowboys. I mean, they're all still relevant and good teams. So you're going to have a lot of great games.
Mark my words, if Patrick Mahomes stays healthy, nobody's going to come close. But let's do this. Let's put our money where our mouth is. Let's look at the odds to win the Super Bowl. Of course, the Kansas City Chiefs are a heavy favorite. So
Don't bet them.
So we all have to put $1,000 on this in Vegas, just so you know. Okay, you got the Eagles at 8-1. You got the 49ers at 10-1, which is, it would be way more interesting to me if like I said, if they got on the phone and could talk Tom Brady into coming out of retirement.
Get off the Brady box.
Which is unlikely. The Bengals, I think the only team that realistically has a chance to knock off the Kansas City Chiefs would be the Cincinnati Bengals, because Burrow has beat them before in the playoffs. You know, they're sitting there at 11-1. You got the Cowboys 15-1, the Jets 16-1, Ravens 20-1. The Lions, that's interesting.
Put it on Baltimore, baby.
22-1. The Chargers, also interesting, 25-1. I think the Chargers need to get rid of their coach, though. And then to me, like I've been saying, this is the Jaguars, because the Jaguars were one team in the playoffs last year that did hang for a little while with them in the playoffs, you know. So what are you guys' thoughts, Tony? Tony, just okay, so you guys don't necessarily think that the Chiefs are a shoo-in to win the Super Bowl.
No, I don't.
Okay, so you have to put it. Listen. You have to put $1,000 on a team other than the Chiefs. Who's it going to be? I don't care about your opinion. You got to go put $1,000 at the sports book in Vegas on a team other than the Chiefs. Who would it be?
Yeah, you're ready. Are you ready for it? Fly, Eagles, fly. Yeah.
Exactly.
Philadelphia Eagles. They got a lot of people. You know, they might have lost a couple of players, but look, they gained a lot of players, and they got a lot of young wide receivers. You know, if the tight end stays up, well, both the tight ends stay healthy. They got promise, and guess what? Hurts. He puts Hurts on a lot of teams, and you know what? Giddy up! I'll take the Eagles. There's my
real quick, guys. I just want to say hi to superstar ex-baseball player, Mr. Greg Vaughn, on the show right now.
Mr. Vaughn, how you doing, sir?
How we doing? Heck yeah.
I'm doing good, but bang, bang, Niner game. You know what I mean? That's my $1,000.
You like the Niners? Okay, so Greg, we were just talking about, you know, I've been living in fantasy land where I think the Niners are going to pick up the phone and get Tom Brady to come out of retirement. And that, to me, would be the only team that could knock off the Kansas City Chiefs is a Tom Brady-led San Francisco 49ers. One last time. Do it. TB12. What are your thoughts, Greg?
Hey, whatever we got to do. You know, I'm a Niner fan through and through. You know, last year was tough. But if you were going to lose to somebody, you know, Jalen Hurts, class act, you know what I mean? But I'm a Niner fan, man. I'm from Northern California.
Sweet. All right, Bama, you got to put $1,000
boy, Mr. Vaughn.
Yeah, I mean, you know where I'm going with this one. I'm going to be a homer all day long. I'm going to Baltimore Ravens.
Well, okay,
I'll put $1,000 on Baltimore and feel comfortable every moment.
All right, but how is the Ravens going to beat Patrick Mahomes?
Because we was a top defense last year, going to be the same this year. Hell, we was one fumble from back up, drawing a blank now. When Lamar was hurt from getting through the playoffs and beating the Bengals and knocking your beloved Eagles out of the playoffs. Now we got a healthy team this year. We signed Melvin Gordon to help out with J.K. Dobbins and the rest of the guys in the backfield. Lamar's got a new coordinator who's throwing the ball this year, which he does very well, which nobody likes to hear, but he does really well. Tell you, man, with that defense, the new offense right there, the running game is going to be on everybody's butt every week regardless. You throw some mixing in with some of the receivers we got with Odell Beckham now. Flowers, the #1 pick right there. You throw in our big tight end, Mark Andrews. They're unstoppable this year. It's Ravens all day long.
All right, so I'm torn on two. I would go Bengals or Bills. I think I'd lay to the Bengals just because Burrows has been there before and had better playoff success than Allen. But I like Allen up in Buffalo. It's just I don't they just seem to choke every year. And so I'd go Bengals.
Bengals. Paul Pratt. Paul Pratt. Who other than the Chiefs? Who's your team, buddy?
That's a hard one. You know what? I'm probably, and I hate to say this, I really think that the New York Jets are going to do something this year. I just like the Jets.
Wow.
I
Aaron, do you
it's
think
gonna be
the
a
Aaron
great year.
Rodgers, move was
I'm not
that
a Rodgers
huge,
fan
huh?
at all, but I feel like he's motivated. And he has the most pressure coming in this season out of any quarterback. So I think he's gonna have to step it up and be a diva. Hey, but I gotta go into my chosen life group right now. I want to say this before I leave. If you guys get a chance, go watch Quarterbacks. You guys haven't seen Quarterbacks on Netflix? Watch that on Netflix. It's a great show on Netflix. And the last thing I want to say is this year is my 20-year anniversary since I graduated high school as a freshman at University of Nevada. And also, my best friend, Steve Smith, he played USC with USC, he played the Giants, got the ring with the Giants against the Patriots. We're 5 days apart as far as birth-wise. He's getting his jersey retired this year in a couple weeks at our school, Taft High School. And then 2 days later, September 2nd, is Nevada versus USC. I couldn't make this up. So I just wanted to say it's going to be a great football year from high school, college, Pop Warner, junior high, and then professional. And I just want to say, go Pack, beat SC.
Hey, I got to throw this out there. Is there going to be a little bet going on?
You know what?
Dinner?
It's probably something's going to happen. Something's going to happen. It's going to be something going to happen.
Yeah, baby.
A little friendly something.
And it's in LA where I'm at. I'm in LA. It's in LA at the Coliseum. I'm just like, this can be 20 years since I've been. It's just crazy. I've ever seen and never played Nevada, and we always been competitive to each other. So to see this is like crazy. So yeah.
Awesome, Paul.
That's awesome. Heck yeah.
Cool. Well, Paul. Thanks for coming on. We'll definitely have you on more during the football season to get.
See you,
your-
Mr. Brooklyn. I love you. Yeah.
We got to do our college picks next week. College picks.
Yeah, baby. Go blue.
Go blue.
Sounds good to me. All right, cool. We'll take just a quick break, and we'll give some shout outs to all of our sponsors and stuff. And Greg, then we're gonna dive into baseball.
Sounds good.
I love your hat, Mr. Vaughn.
Perfect.
All right.
Right off the golf course.
Yeah, baby.
Okay. All right, Ben. We'll be back in about 2 minutes.
Yeah. All right, this is Sports and Tacos. We got freaks out there. We got 4 of them. We got 5 of them. We got special guests. We got a man in the shower. We got a brainiac. We got a guy that looks like he's supposed to be on Sports Center. And then you got me. It's all about the TMP, Sports and Tacos.
Perfect. Who are the guys at Sports and Tacos? We're a bunch of sports experts who work together in a huge sports bar forever. And we know more sports than anybody in this entire world because we put our money where our mouth is.
All about having some fun, a little bit of sports knowledge from 3, 4, 5, 6 different folks, depending on the night. Let you know about what happened that day in sports. We'll get to it. Check us out. Sports and Tacos at YouTube.
Perfect.
All right, ladies and gentlemen in TV land, YouTube, Sports and Tacos, Mondays, Thursdays, and Sunday Fun Day. Come join us, YouTube, Sports and Tacos.
Yeah, we'll give some shout outs to everybody that helps make this happen. Super excited to have Mr. Bill Hammond on the show last week. He had a great time. I've been working for Hammond Entertainment, doing the celebrity golf tournaments for a few years now, and Bill's a great guy. Hope to have Bill back on soon. I'm going to give a shout out to Don Church with Smoke Lab Vodka. She got some amazing vodka, and she's our newest sponsor. So definitely want to get in touch with Dawn. Go check out Smoke Lab Vodka. Mr. Dan Wolken, who's going to be on in about, I think probably sounds about like mid-September. He's super busy. Dan is the sports expert guy from Pawn Stars. He's been on over 50 episodes of Pawn Stars, and he owns one of the most reputable sports memorabilia, essentially, I think it's auction house type businesses called Memory Lane Incorporated. So Dan is like the guy you would call if you have a Gem Mint Mickey Mantle rookie card and you needed to sell it. So and he's great on the show. He's gonna oversee a new segment that we're gonna start called Bankers versus Bookies, where investors, me and the investors, sports memorabilia investors, are going to go heads up against Tony and Bama, the gamblers, over about 6 months, and we're going to see who does better over a 6-month run. And Dan's going to kind of oversee that madness. Also want to give a shout out to Megan Johnson and Doug Plank. Doug is an ex-Chicago Bear. He's with the Bears for a long time. They do a podcast called Sports and Shopping. We'll be having Doug and Megan back on the show here real soon. Obviously, give a shout out to Paul Pratt, who was just on here. His super amazing electrolyte injected Noah water. If anybody's bored, go get yourself some Noah water. And also Ray Pinetto over at Pro Signatures Memorabilia. Ray has the coolest sports collages like in the entire world, whether you're buying it for yourself or a gift or something. Like I just drool whenever I get to see all the stuff that Ray brings out at these celebrity golf tournaments, just because I'm such a memorabilia nut. So anyways, yeah, just want to give a shout out to all of our sponsors that help make this show possible. So anyways, Mr. Greg Vaughn, I'm so glad that you had a little bit of free time to come on the show this evening. Anytime we have somebody on the show for the first time, I usually like to ask them their backstory, and just kind of everybody knows who you are. How did you,
Greg?
Greg, how did you get, this is the question I usually like to ask people, but how did you get into baseball? Like, how old were you when you started playing? And then at what point in your life, maybe it's that certain day in your life, did you realize it was going to be your future and you were going to be able to do that professionally?
Well, I think for me, there was three. I had two other siblings, and my mom's brother had, same siblings. My cousin Ricky Reynolds, who played for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, we're 6 months apart. My brother Damian and his brother Lance were a month apart, and then our sisters were 5 months apart. So it was like, the Brady Bunch. It was six of us all the time. So, it was the women in our family. It was, my grandmother, there was always a game on. Put the ball game on. She has season tickets to the 49ers. Like I said, I've been a Niner fan since I could walk. That's what we did. We were outside, whether we were fishing or it was all six of us or it was all the boys, and we were fishing or we were playing football in the house. We were playing basketball outside, but that's what we did back then. The only video game we had was Pong. That man, ding, ding, ding. So, we stayed outside all the time. I remember in the summertime, we weren't allowed to come in the house. You know what I mean? It was like, hey, grab a snack, get back outside. So I just think the generation that I grew up in, that was our outlet. That's what we did. Park and recreations, police athletic league. I was blessed because I was able to go outside and play, and we were able to be safe. We didn't have to worry about all the stuff you have to worry about now. So I think, and it wasn't, we were able to learn how to play, whether it was from pickle, strikeout against the garage. We learned how to play sports when you didn't have enough people on the team. You couldn't hit it to left field closed, right field closed. It was, and we played 3 sports. We played 3 sports in a day, or 4 sports. We made up sports to play. You know what I mean? It was everybody in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
So like I said, I was blessed to be able to play along, during those times. And I think for me, one of the turning points was me and my cousin Ricky were playing Pop Warner football, and we made the All-Star team. And being from South Sacramento, we went to Carmichael, which is a little bit more affluent than where we grew up. And not to pat myself on the back, but I had a pretty good day that day. You know what I mean? So, I probably rushed for like 200, ran a kickoff back. I caught a screen pass, ran that for a touchdown, and I got co-MVP, with the quarterback that threw it to me from Carmichael. And I remember walking off the field, and my first thing my grandmother said, she says, Greg, what's wrong with you? Pick your lip up off the ground. You know what I mean? I said, pick my lip off the ground? They get co-MVP, it's not even close. She said, you made it too close. I said, no way. I did X, Y, Z. He didn't do crap. She said, you made it too close. And I would always tell the same story to my kids, and they would look at me, roll their eyes, and always say, here we go again. Yeah, Dad, I know. But that story is one of them that probably made me, because she said, I don't care what you did, you didn't do enough. I don't care. Whatever the determination in your mind that you were so much better than everybody else on the field that day. There's a lot of people that said you weren't because you got co-MVP. So she said, I suggest you pick your lip up off the ground because life isn't fair, and don't ever make it close again. She said, I don't care if it's school. I don't care if it's getting a job. I don't care what you're doing in life. Separate yourself from everyone else. Separate yourself in a way that there's no comparison. You'll be much more elevated beyond everyone else. And for me and my immediate family, my siblings and my cousins, that's what stuck with us. My mom was real athletic, but they always told us the truth. It wasn't the coach's fault. It wasn't the teacher's fault. We always had to be accountable. Now that I'm older, I'm probably not that much accountable like I should be, but when I was younger, I was accountable. I had to be. Whatever we did, you had to be able to take the circumstances and wear it. And they told us the truth too. You know what I mean? I remember my cousin Ricky covered Jerry Rice, and Jerry, he had that streak where he was catching. He had a pass in every game. He caught like a 5-yard slant, and for a touchdown. So he kept his streak going, and Ricky came out of the locker room. And of course, my grandmother's there, and she's Queen Bee. So grandma's in the front, you know what I mean? So it's like, hey, grandma, boy, you better start hitting somebody. That's the first thing out of her mouth, boy, you better start hitting somebody. And same thing, my first time playing in Oakland, with all my family and friends. And I hit a home run off Dave Stewart. I was 2 for 3, and then we were down by 1. This is my rookie year, and we're down by 1 in the 9th, and I hit a 2-run home run off Eckersley to win the game. And I come out, I'm feeling good. You know what I mean? I got all my people there. I'm feeling good. It's gonna be a good night tonight. You know what I mean? I walk outside. Hey, grandma, boy, you better stay in that cage. You know what I mean? She never let us get the kid.
Happy had a record night.
Yeah. But she never let us be satisfied. And I think, even me working with kids, and I started, I like teaching. I like being around the youth, and after 14 years of doing it, I just got tired because not so much the kids, it's I think who they became because the parents let them become that. I didn't have to do this. I'm not getting paid, but I'm not going to argue with anybody. You know what I mean? I'm not. So I'm just glad and very fortunate that I was blessed to play in the era that I did. Everyone says, oh, look at the money, look at this. I wouldn't trade the money for my life experiences that I had and opportunities that made me who I am. You know what I mean? Money's great. It makes life easier, but it's not the greatest thing in life. And for me, I think playing sports 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years old. My dad put me and my brother at catcher right away so we wouldn't be scared of the ball. Then he put us at third base, and then we'd go home with black eyes and, busted lips because we got ground balls harder than anybody else. So, that's my journey. But at the time, I didn't understand why my dad was doing that. But when I looked around and I looked at all the other, the kids who had the dads that were the coach at that time, they did the same thing. You know what I mean? They were trying to – they couldn't do it to the other kids because then they would have had, the police would have came out there. You know what I mean? But to us, they could do it. And I think not only did that define who we were as, as far as playing athletics, but it paved the way for us in life as far as life is tough. Hey, you know what? You're gonna have to learn on the fly. You're gonna have to make adjustments, and you're gonna have to surround yourself with a good team that's gonna add something to your life and not take away from your life.
Right. Yeah.
That's it.
Let me real quick, Greg. Who were some of your sports heroes growing up?
Well, like I said, 9-9. I'm a Niner guy all day long.
Mm-hmm.
But my cousin Jerry Royster played too, and Roland Office. Atlanta Braves. I see that.
Baby, I know. I saw Jerry Royster play in 1981 and 82 against the Expos. I'm from Alabama, so we'd take a trip over to watch Atlanta play once a year every now and then. And it was always the Expos we watched them play. But 81, 82, Royster up to 84, 85. Royster was on that team right there. I got all his baseball cards plus yours. I
appreciate you. Thank you. So they come play the Giants, and I remember this was the turning point. And I love football. I love all sports, but at 6 feet, I love basketball. But I was like, there's no future in this for me playing basketball. You know what I mean? So I was good on basketball. I ran track in between football and baseball, and I walked in that locker room at Candlestick, and it looked like 7-Eleven. You know what I mean? So I was like, you guys get all this in here, during the game, before the game, after the game? I said, I'm playing baseball or I'm playing football. But my cousin Jerry, being around him, and then, like I said, Dusty Baker's from, Sacramento, Jerry Manuel, Steve Sachs, Chris Bosio. There's just so many. There's just so many guys that the Force brothers. I mean, there were so many guys from here that were my heroes. It was just per capita, I think we were at the top along with Tampa as far as big league baseball players, you know what I mean? Because that's what you seen, that's what you did. Along with football, we had great athletes here, for being a small city, we had athletes, and all of us back then loved to play. But Walter Payton, that was my nickname, Sweetness, they called me because I loved him. He was my hero too, man. It was
number 34, baby.
Yeah.
We were just talking about how the NFL these days is kind of doing running backs dirty, and the days of Walter Payton and Emmitt Smith, they're gone basically. It's kind of.
Well, I don't think the days are gone.
Except for Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry, maybe.
But you know what? I don't think they're gone because they're still using them like dogs, but they're not paying them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think about Walter Payton and Emmitt Smith. The longevity of their careers was amazing. Looking back, to do what they did every year for 14, 15 years in a row is just, you're never going to see that again. I don't think.
You forgot Adrian Peterson.
Yeah, AP.
Yes,
AP did it too.
Yeah.
And just like you said, Barry Sanders, and that NFL, that stands another reason. It's not for long. You know what I mean? I mean, you look at JJ. You look. I live in Vegas. I'm back home in Sacramento right now. But you look at what JJ did last year for the Raiders, man, and that's what you get. You know what I mean? You get a 1-year contract offer.
Yeah.
I mean,
Jacobs heck yeah. So.
Josh Jacobs. I mean, I say JJ, but Josh Jacobs. I mean, you look at him. You look at him. You look at Saquon. I mean, that basically tells you right there they don't care about you. You know what I mean? And in baseball, a person of color, it's different because you don't see a lot of us having jobs, or head coaching jobs. It's once you're done playing, man. It's stack your chips so you can do whatever you want to do, and make your own call for the rest of your life, and provide for yourself and your family. But our earning period is very, very small, minute, and after it's over with, it's on to the next. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, what real quick? What just a couple? What's the most memorable, at least maybe moment or a couple of moments that you had in your baseball career?
Well, I think the first one I already spoke upon. The first time coming home to Oakland and having that series and having my family and friends there. Having my oldest being able to be in the dugout and being on the field at all-star games and batting practice and to field and be in the locker room and to take road trips in the summer with me and just and hang around the guys, but also hitting to be able to have my son, the oldest again, come with me when we made the World Series in '98, and myself, the late great Tony Gwynn, and then you had Denzel, Spike Lee, and Chris Rock in the dugout, and all three of us are chopping it up before the game. And all three of those guys are some of the, they probably don't even remember me, but like I said, they were icons to me, and they're still icons. And just hearing about just all their experiences and the stories before we played game one against the Yankees, and then to hit a home run, I think my second at bat to right center field, and I looked behind home plate. My dad's sitting next to Denzel, and he's like, "Okay, you're a Yankees fan," but he's like, and I was like, "That's pretty cool." Denzel was like, "You know what I mean?" And
Heck yeah, man!
Hey, Greg. Speaking of that '98 season, how was it to almost get traded to the Yankees and then have to play them in the World Series? Because you don't hear that often, that you're almost traded to a team and then at the deadline, then you're playing them in the World Series.
Well, it was a year before, '97. I got traded, but somehow this right shoulder failed the physical. You know what I mean? So they sent me back, but like I said, man, my path, my journey is what it is. I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. I do miss not having a ring. But when I came back and the reception I got from my teammates in San Diego, from Trevor Hoffman to Tony Gwynn, from the city, the city of San Diego, the fans, I wouldn't trade that. You know what I mean? For anything in the world. So It was bittersweet because, who wouldn't, I never got to play in a big market, But part two to that story was me and Tony went back to back later in that game, in game one. So I hit 2 home runs in game one. And this time Denzel said like this, but he's like, that's enough. You know what I mean? The Yankees to win. And,
That's funny.
And like I said, Kevin Brown pitched his butt off. I thought Mark Langston threw a great pitch. I think Tino did too, because he was walking back to the dugout and Richie Garcia said ball. And I was screaming my head off from the outfield. I can't say what I said. But the other umpires heard me like, Vonnie. We were screaming. We're walking off the field. And next pitch, grand slam, and we lose the game. You know what I mean? But we were right there. And I think the saddest thing is we didn't get a chance to have another run at it. You know what I mean? With that team and that group and those guys and how close we were in that dugout. We didn't get another chance to go back and try to accomplish something that, we barely fell short, so. And then the part three to that story was getting woken up about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning after they say they're not going to trade you and you hit 50 home runs. And Marge Schott calls me at 4 or 5. I think she was half tanked already. And I thought it was a nightmare. It says, congratulations. And this voice, like I said, it just sticks to me. I'm like, it's 5 o'clock in the morning, West Coast time. And it's like, hello? Greg, this is Marge Schott, honey. I just want to say congratulations. You've been traded to the Cincinnati Reds. I was like,
No.
This is not no.
Marge Schott.
No, the Reds had a no facial hair. How did you talk to Reds into letting you stay on that team with the goatee on there?
Good. That was part 4 to this story because
My fault.
No, I like it. I like the intro. Keep giving me the intro. Marshall said, "We have one problem," and you got to remember. So now that we're about 5:07 after all this a.m., and she said we have a no facial hair policy, and I'm still in shock. I'm in all types of shock because the late Kevin Towers, rest in peace, said, "Hey, we're not trading you. It's a week or two before spring training. You just hit 50 home runs." I'm like, everybody else that does good, they get a contract. I do good. I get shipped out. You know what I mean? And then now I got to shave off my goatee. My kids never see me without a goatee. Yeah, I said, okay, you're still playing baseball. But I said, Miss Sharp, no disrespect, I'm not coming. I said, my kids have never seen me without a goatee. And I think I was angry because I really felt like I did what I was supposed to do. You know what I mean? I hit 50 home runs. I did my job. And then I get traded. And then I got to shave my goatee. It wasn't a good morning. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, hey, Greg, what are you up to these days? Do you have any businesses, charities, anything like that you want to give shout outs to or promote or anything? What are you up to these days?
These days, well, I'm partners in a wellness center, Restore Hyper Wellness. After all these shoulder surgeries, I had to figure out a way to stay healthier, but we have IVs, hyperbaric chambers, red light. We have cryo. It's one-stop shop. Even for the ladies, we have cryofacials, local cryo. Did I mention red light saunas? We have everything you can do in probably about 45 minutes, one-stop shop, in and out, efficient. I have Vons Valley Foundation, which I started because I was going to all these other charities. And my oldest son, once again, and I have 3 lovely, amazing kids and a great grandson. But Corey got a chance because of his age to be around and experience things. And unfortunately, I got a call in Toronto when he was 11 that he had type 1 diabetes. And I had no idea what that was. So it was one of the scariest calls I ever had in my life because I'm in Toronto. I can't get out. And then you have to go to the business center to try to, to read up and get as much information. Because back then we just had flip phones or whatever we had back then. And I'm in Canada. It didn't work anyway. So, it was, when he was 11. So now I'm talking to the trainers. I'm trying to figure it out because my ignorance was, isn't this for overweight old people? You know what I mean? That's all I knew about diabetes. I didn't know about it. There wasn't history in my family. And I fly out the next day and you just feel like you get hit by a Mack truck because I'm scared to death. And I got to walk on the children's ward and keep it all together for, my ex and then my son at the time. And I was scared to death, so it was, once I found out a little bit more about the disease, it's where your pancreas shuts down and you become insulin dependent. And, it was life-changing for all of us, and even my ex, she had to, I got to go back to play baseball. It wasn't anytime soon because when they said, when you coming back, I said, I don't know. You know what I mean? This has to be handled, and I have to make sure my guy's all right, and I have to make sure my ex is all right, and I have to make sure we're all right as a family, and we can move forward. But now all his, he's athletic. All his coaches have to know that when he gets the glossy eyes, he can be high or low, from his insulin, and can he still play sports? Can he swim? He has to take shots every day. Back then, he had to prick his fingers like crazy. But it has come full circle where, there's so much research being done that it's always changing. And now you're able to have the pump that acts like your pancreas. Parents, we can monitor our kids' blood sugars from our phone now. We see where they're trending. So I started Vons Valley Foundation to raise money to help find a cure for diabetes when I first started the foundation. And I still, to this point, have golf tournaments and do different charity events to try to raise money and awareness for diabetes, JDRF, but now it's called type 1 because at any time, any one of our pancreases can shut down.
Yeah.
Before it was just happened with juveniles. And so during the pandemic, I didn't want to be one of those guys that continued to have my golf tournament and be a super spreader. I said, I like food, I like wine, and I was able to partner up with a great family, from Lodi, the Ellers and the E2 family vineyard, and we created GV23 wines, 23 wines. So we were able to, create 23 wines. And I think that's my sister's dog barking at me, but sorry about that.
It's all right.
And where the proceeds from the wine go to Vons Valley, and we're able to continue to, raise, revenue during the pandemic for the foundation and continue our work to try to find a cure. But also, it's turned out to be a big hit. And, like I said, the whole family's outstanding. And my guy, Brett, he lets me in the lab. So it's not like me just him throwing out some wine with a label on it, from the bottle to the foil to the cork, Danielle and the design of the labels, they all have some part of, significance in my life as far as like, we have a 50, that's the Pinot. The Merlot has the date of every home run during that year. It's, we have rosés, we have all of them. Like I said, I just didn't white label anything. I made stuff that I like, and it's not for everyone. But so far, it's hit and miss with some people. But as long as we can help the foundation, that's what's important.
Right. Awesome. You stay pretty current on baseball? I mean, are you still pretty big, baseball fan, in general, I assume?
Yeah. I mean, baseball gave me a good life. So yeah.
Hey, Mr. Vaughn. Hey, Mr. Vaughn, I'm sorry to interrupt you there, Shotgun, but I want to throw a shout out. Dude, love you, man. You're awesome. Hey, first, I got 2 questions for you. First question, how did you shoot today?
Today was a good day.
Attaboy, how many birdies?
We had a couple today, birdies, but we only had, I think we were 4 over today. That's it. So
hey, man, that's awesome. Congratulations.
That's me through 2 holes.
Hey, man, I'm still trying on the first hole, man. But hey, second question I got for you, brother. When you game playing, talking all that trash talk, did you ever back it up to any of the big boys that were talking smoke to you?
You cut out on the first part.
Oh, sorry about that. Hey, when you guys were trash talking, did you ever back it up and prove it to one of the big boys, just like yourself?
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, you can't back down from anybody, but you know what I mean?
Exactly.
You can't back down, but like I said, during the times that I played, I think you got respect out of your body of work, you know what I mean? But, there's assholes everywhere, you know what I mean? So you're going to have a few.
Yeah, buddy.
You're going to have a few, and you know what? And sometimes you got to, desperate times come desperate actions, you know what I mean? And
oh man, do you have any great stories about just saying, I'm going to just kick that ball's ass? Just on that person because you just don't like that person, or you just wanted to prove a point?
I wanted to prove a point every day, all day, you know what I mean? But
amen. God bless you.
But like I said, it didn't happen that way. And like I said, during the times that I played, most guys were good guys. There's a couple guys I couldn't stand though. And I told them if they hit me, I will be room service. I will get you before the door open, and you better not let me walk, because I don't play that. I mean, I have a son. I have kids, and just because I take a good swing off you, it doesn't give me the right to throw out my head. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
did you ever charge the mound?
A couple times, I think. But I think Robin Yount told me something one time. He said, stay in the game because you hurt your team when you come out of the game. So
Yeah.
that's when I just started trying to, the slides got a little bit harder and more violent, and everybody was like, "Bonnie, what's up? Hey, talk to your boy, man." You know what I mean? And then I'm not playing. I've told a couple pitchers that, hey, I will be room service. If you don't get me good, I will be at your rooms tonight and be room service. And before those doors open tomorrow, when people come in, I will get you before that too.
Yeah, I can see. I think Greg Vaughn is like one of the last dudes I would have wanted to mess with. You don't want to mess with the baseball player that looks like a football player usually.
But
Man, he's gonna tackle you.
Yeah, that would have been first. But like I said, we had a lot of tough pitchers. But back when I played, you played inside, and you knew guys were going to throw inside. But I disagreed with because I took a good swing. Now you're going to throw at my head, and then when I struck out, I didn't throw my bat at you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Joe,
I bet you wanted to do it a couple times.
Right. Yeah.
Real quick, Greg.
I fought
Go
with
ahead.
a couple of my own pitchers because I got hit and they didn't do what they were supposed to do.
What were your thoughts on Shohei not getting moved? Do you think the Angels made a mistake there, or do you think they should have kept him? And I think that they might end up getting nothing for the second coming of Babe Ruth. What are your thoughts on the Shohei? What went down with Shohei?
I agree with you, but say they do move him, they have to get a lot in return, but once again, it's business. Hey, look, I'm no Shohei, but I hit 50 home runs. I got moved. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying.
I get it, but
just
something. I'd rather get something than nothing.
So they're gonna have to answer that question also. They're gonna have to answer that question if he moves. And someone gives him 600, 700, and it's a place that he wants to go to, unless he had an inside conversation saying, hey, you tell me what it's going to take to bring you back here. That's a tough call, man, because
He's a two-person player.
Angels just try to do that. They've been in a drought for so long trying to get to the place right there to playoffs, and they see their opportunity is so close this year. So,
it's a catch-22 trading them.
To bring in some players.
It's a catch-22 trading them.
You catch-22 not trading them too.
No, that's what I mean. Yeah, if you trade him, you're not going to get the haul you're supposed to because he's a rental. And if you keep him and he goes somewhere else, you're told for not getting anything.
Yeah, but you're gambling, man. We're in Vegas. Let's say we're in Vegas. We're gambling. We're hoping for those snake eyes, man, because guess what? Snake eyes, you can win double. If you get the railroads, you can win double. Then you roll a 7, guess what? You're out.
They probably had to have sat him down and talked to him a little bit. I mean, they did win the sweepstakes when he came over from Japan, when he could have gone anywhere because he got I forget what the rules were, but he get league minimum. Basically, he was capped out because of his age. He went there. So there had to be a discussion, but I mean, they could have gotten anything from anybody because he's cheap and he's a superstar. But the fact is, no matter what they got, it would never have been enough. And you're not in for only a half a year. If you trade for him and don't re-sign him or you don't win the World Series, you're going to hear it. So nobody was going to give away all their prospects. It's just a tough situation for the Angels overall. And then if you trade him, why do you keep Trout?
Yeah, that's the whole thing, So my last question, Greg, is of course Mr. Robert Humphreys. We call him Bama. Just so you know, Greg, me, Tony, and Bama are the originators of Sports and Tacos. About 5 years ago, we all worked together at a huge sports bar in South Denver for years. So this is what we did all day anyways, and we decided to start a podcast. We talked to the general manager into letting us use the band area one night, and I don't know, the rest is history.
Free tacos.
But anyways, we used to actually get free tacos. They would make us tacos for the show. We're going to try and get back to that, but now they're in Denver. I'm in LA. People are all over the place. But if you talk to Bama, there's no way anybody has any chance of knocking off the Atlanta Braves this year. do you see any, who's maybe a dark horse team that, probably, and I always use you're putting $1,000 on it in Vegas, because it's one thing to sit here and blow hot air about this, that, and the other thing. It's a whole nother thing to pretend that you must go put $1,000 on what you're about to say. You live in Vegas, so I assume you're aware of, casinos.
Yeah.
Is there a dark horse team out there that you could see coming out of the pack and, maybe winning the World Series?
I hate to say it, you being a Giants fan growing up, and everything is Northern California, Sacramento Kings. I'm just going through. Man, the Dodgers, man, I don't know, the Dodgers in the National League, and I can Dusty. I can't go against Dusty. You know what I mean? They've been there, but I'm gonna tell you that my dark horse. And I don't know if the Rangers, but Baltimore.
Yes.
Baltimore.
I
Said something about that.
Beginning of this year, that team, if they got pitching, they were going to be difficult to beat because those guys were hitting last year, and they're a fun team to watch, and they play baseball the right way, which is they put the ball in play, they run. It's not just all home runs and striking out. They're a full team. If their pitching holds up, they'll be a heck of a team to beat. I agree with you on that one.
Yeah, I think Baltimore, but like I said, I'm not going to bet my money against Bochy either. He's the best manager I've ever had.
But they lost Jung today. Jung got hurt again.
They did?
They lost the catcher and Jung, yeah.
Yeah, see that
I
plays a part too.
They're pitching the Rangers too, though. That's a pretty hot little team, and pitching's good, hitting's pretty good with them right there. I know DeGrom's out for the season, but Avialdi's been doing great for him. John Gray's been doing great for him. They just made the trade for Scherzer, I think it was, because Verlander went to the Astros, right?
But I'm telling you, the Dodgers are scary right now, though, bro.
Yeah, I don't want to give the Dodgers any props.
The thing to me that's scary about the Dodgers is
I love Freddie Freeman, but I don't like the Dodgers.
Their pitching sucks, but they're still winning. That's
and they're
scary to me.
Fun.
Yeah, and a weird little thing. I've even heard there's a slight chance the guy that I thought was kind of the reason they weren't going to do it this year was the Walker Buehler going out earlier in the year. He could come back for him later in the year and be like a strong arm. Plus, Kershaw's about to come back, so I'm kind of, I'm not going to count these Dodgers either.
All right, brothers. You guys are all talking about that side of the teams. Y'all talking about all that side of the team. You got to also look at one thing. Look at the team that was supposed to be monsters this year, the San Diego Padres. They had opportunities up and down, all around, and now they're the clowns. They are losing on certain things where they're not supposed to lose. Their pitching staff that they have is unbelievable. Their offense, their defense, their offense. My gosh, they've signed so many great players, and guess what? Now you got to get rid of them because it's not happening.
Yeah,
I can't say anything about the Padres. The Siler family. I can't say anything about San Diego fans. I'm pulling for the Padres also.
I think
like I said,
they lack
the opportunity.
They don't have that leadership. They don't have, from what I've seen, they don't have that leadership on the field. They don't really have that one guy who's stepping up and pulling people accountable.
No, that's why I'm not going to speak on that.
Yeah. I'm not putting you. I'm not putting you in anything. I know you have your allegiance to that, but you can just see it. There's bit players that are just coming in and out, constantly rotating. They keep bringing in more, and if nothing's changing, you got to look at a little bit of the core and say, okay, what is the team missing? And usually something like that is the leadership. They remind me of the late, I forget if it's late 90 or early 2000 Dodgers that were getting all those stud all-stars that they're signing in free agency, and they never won anything with it because they didn't have that core, that consistency, or those people that were, keeping the culture together and driving things forward. It's all.
But I agree with
Greg, you play, Greg, so I can't say it, but there's something when you don't have accountability on the field or off the field from the team, you don't have
it's so weird leadership. Because think about it, Mike. They have Tatis. They have freaking your guy that you have Machado. They have Soto. They got Cronenworth. You got Snell. You got Musgrave. You have a team.
Now this was their drawback. They traded for 3 Rockies at the break: Moustakas, Grachik, and Crone. Sorry.
Didn't Gerchik go? Gerchik
Oh, no,
didn't
I'm
go
sorry,
to
that
the,
was back
No,
when-
they went to the Angels. They went to the Angels.
Yeah,
You got
Angels.
you're
Thank
Braves
you.
drunk right now.
I'm already living in the World Series because
You
we've
know-
already won in Atlanta.
The other side of California, man.
Yeah.
But
Well,
no,
if you look at-
I'm
if you
just
look
throwing this out there. San Diego has the power, they have the equipment, they have the utilities to make something happen. And when you have that, you're not doing it, man. You know, you bought a team. Hey, man, look at the New York Yankees, what they did. They bought a team, everything chimed.
Look at the New York Mets this year.
Mets fell down. They gave away all their pitching.
But you know what though? I just think I think it goes back to what he said. It's accountability, and I think it starts at the top, like you said. And if you look at the teams that win and the teams that have won, I know Moneyball. They'll probably get killed for this anyway. Moneyball didn't win anything. They competed. They didn't win anything. It was
way to
teams
compete.
that had.
That's it.
Yeah, it was a way to compete, and the teams that win all have baseball guys in their dugouts and managers that have some type of experience that know what it's like to go through a season and know what it's like to go through the ups and downs, and then they allow the guys in the dugout to police the dugout, and they take it from there. But baseball guys are teaching baseball guys. It's not all about computers, even though you can say analytics, this and that. There's a place for all of it. But if you look through and through, go back over the last 5, 6, 7 years, you tell me a Moneyball team that's ever won.
Yeah.
And Moneyball's basically, I don't want to say gone, but now everybody's doing it. So the advantage that it gave the A's to be competitive with no salary is now gone.
Well, that's why the A's are going to Vegas.
You talk about
to get some
you
revenue.
talk about the Braves. You talk about the all I'm
Attaboy.
going to say is this: you talk about the Braves, you talk about Baltimore, and you look at teams that are winning,
Farm systems.
that are playing, not just farm system, but you look at the way they play. They're not just hitting home runs; they're putting the ball in play. They're going against the analytics, which was home run, walk, or strikeout. And you look at that, and that's. And I will say this, baseball, I think, is going to have to do a change because this all or nothing strikeout or home run stuff is hurting the game. I think it's not as fun to watch.
But you have too many guys.
Think,
but you have too many guys that are doing it. Even like I said, Dusty. Just talking to all of them. I think there's a part to, but there's a lot of egos too. There's a part for some of that. But I mean, when half your team's hitting 209 to 220 with 11 home runs and 11 home runs and 28 RBIs, or 219, 15 home runs and 37 RBIs. You tell me you only got 7 RBIs not on home runs?
Could you imagine if you hit that and got in the lineup
crazy.
every day? It wouldn't have happened when you played. You wouldn't have been in the lineup.
If we hit that in spring training, man, I would have been at the taco joint with you guys, man. You know what I mean? I'd have been
Dave,
But you guys also got to look at the strike. All these new little rules that's coming in with the pitching time. You got 20 seconds. Get on the plate. He throws the pitches. He hits. Yeah, it makes it a little faster, which it's already shown. It's like 35 minutes earlier. But at the same time, these guys are swinging or nothing. These guys are swinging or nothing. That's the catch in the ball game right now. They want to get on base, but at the same time, they want to hit the home run. They want to get the RBIs. I get it. I understand. You don't have much chance. They're throwing that ball that quick. It's so tough.
Yeah.
It's a tough game anyway. It's tough.
Yeah.
And like I said, the players are bigger. They're stronger. They have so much information. Maybe, you know what? I don't want to look at the iPad in the middle of in the game. I need to look at the picture to see what he's getting over the plate and what pitches are working for him. Where they're going back, analyzing. They're getting a lot of information. But like I said, these guys went to Harvard, Princeton, Brown, MIT. But so these are the general managers. They're hiring the assistant general managers and the farm directors. But once again, I'm a firm believer that they both can work. But you got to have baseball guys teaching baseball players.
Agreed.
Agreed.
100%.
And it's a fight. Greg, just a little bit in. I worked in the front office for a year, and I played in college, and I got my master's at a small school. So all the analytical guys, and they looked at me as a player, but then I never played pro. So and I had a master's degree. So all the baseball guys looked at me as in analytics, and there was that tension between the two that they just don't like. It's either all or nothing from both sides. The teams that have melded them are the ones that win. But it's funny you said that, because it's true. It's like a paint by numbers. You need both to be successful.
You do need both, but I think, like I said, I think baseball guys have egos, but baseball guys are willing to work through this to get a solution.
Yeah.
I don't think, these guys you're talking about, they go to, like you said, they get these masters and these doctorates from MIT, Brown, Yale, Cole, whatever it is. Their ego is at the top of the list, and they're not gonna be wrong. So they change and they create things for us to look at, whether it's launch angle, exit below, whatever it is, to get our mind off of what's really happening on the field. And I you know what? I'm just a kid from South Sac. You know what I mean? And if I popped up to the catcher, my exit velo was horse shit. If I hit it off the gate, that was good exit velo. You know what I mean? So
I agree.
It reminds me of Bull Durham. Every team needs a Crash Davis, I think. You can't. There's no analytics. There's no stat for having that Crash Davis on your team.
The concept of productive outs is gone. Moving the guy over, hitting a sac fly. I mean, that's basic thing. I heard somewhere Joey Gallo in his entire career has like 3 sac flies.
But
look it up. It's insane the number of home runs he's
how many sacrifice bunts does he have, I wonder?
But you know what? I can understand that button. He got some socket to me, but I'm just saying you see, like I said, they're the smart guys. The smart guys, they know what they're doing. They're okay. So we know, we got to do something. So we're going to start with a guy on second base now in extra innings. I mean, you're giving them a head start. You know what I mean? And you're constantly changing, stuff to overcome what's really going on. You know what I mean? So we're going to put a guy on second base and see the game's still good. We won, but they're still going 15, 16, 17 innings with a guy starting on second base.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That infuriates me.
And it's crazy the fact that you have to tell these guys or be able to teach them that if there's a runner on third base and, if you're not my 3-4-5 guy, and if you're my 3-4-5 guy with 2 strikes, hit a ball to shortstop or second base.
Or bunt.
Well, how about the fact that stolen, even with the pitcher not being able to throw over more than 2 times, stolen bases started off hot, and then you don't hear about them anymore because guys stop stealing, even though the pitchers can only step off once.
Yeah. But but as you look through the minor league system now, I think you're starting to see some people of color come through the systems now that are a little bit more athletic, and in Atlanta. But like I said, I mean,
Acuna Jr.'s got 53 already.
But you guys got one of the best infield instructors around. You have Kevin Seitzer, who I play with, can hit. I play against Walt. You guys got 2,000 years of experience over there.
Ron Washington, Walt Weiss, all those guys right there.
And you guys got, you got base stealers teaching guys how to steal bases. We had Davey Lopes. Now you got guys that will never cause a problem, never create a rift, and just it's such a controlled environment. They won't let, Ricky Henderson go to first base, the greatest of all time, and say, hey, this is what you got to do. No, you got a guy from Brown University or Yale saying steals don't matter, or that's not the way to do it. The computer says do this. No, you're taking out the human element, and you can't do that. And I know that's probably why I'm not in baseball. I probably won't ever be in baseball. And, because I'm just being honest. I'm not saying I'm the greatest. I'm not saying I'm the best. But I learned from baseball players. And the ones that win are, the guys that have guys in there that are teaching them and going through the work every single day. I watched the Braves when they were in San Diego, their pre-game stuff. I watched the Dodgers. I watched Houston. I watched Bosch. You got guys that play baseball teaching these guys what to do. And, it's different. It's different when, as being an executive, some guys, they're not going to change, and we're going to prove them right. We're going to have another stat up there. They're going to put another number up there to get our eyes off of what's really going on field. You know, we're going to make the bases twice as big. We're going to make the bases bigger. Pretty soon, it'll be like softball.
Outlaw the shift. Outlaw the shift.
You are awesome, Mr. Vaughn.
Hey,
Yeah,
Spencer,
yeah.
I gotta go, but I have one
Yeah.
big question for Greg. And I want to hear, because I've talked to a couple other guys and I've gotten their feedback. What is your thoughts when you hear launch angle? You were a guy that hit 50 home runs. Did you ever try to meet the ball at a certain angle to drive it in the air?
I'm not that talented or that smart. I just got to pitch up.
Thank you.
I just got to pitch up, and I was taught to put the barrel on the ball. You know what I mean?
Thank you for that.
Hit my pitch. Hit my pitch. And we talk about this all the time. You got ex-players, and it's not against the analytics. It's just like when I came up, the old timers just say, "Hey man, don't take that pitch. That pitch is fence high. If that ball's up out over the plate, all you got to do is put a good swing on it. It's going to do what it does." You know what I mean? And I said this, I think even off camera. If I exit below and launch angle, if I popped up, like I said, to the first baseman or the pitcher or the catcher, it was horseshit, below, and launch angle. If I hit it off the gate, I didn't have to go to Harvard to know that was bad. This is good. because the guys, if you look right now, the guys that are doing their thing anyway, they're always going to do their thing. Stanton and Judge and guys that are big and strong like that, and Mookie and all. No, I mean, good players are going to be good players. They're just trying to put stigmas on them and say, "Oh, they're doing this." No, they're not. They're doing what they always did. They're doing what they did to get drafted number one. They're doing what they did to move up through the system, and they're going to be good players. Now, you take me, you know what they say about chicken shit and chicken salad. You take chicken salad and chicken shit and give me chicken salad and see what happens. It's hard to do. It's hard to do.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It's hard to do. So, with that being said, you guys are awesome too, man.
Great. Thank you so much.
Great.
Let's talk football though next time. I'm football, man.
Hey, it's coming up, baby. Go blue.
Yes.
All right,
see,
Spencer, I gotta head out, buddy.
Look me up.
Awesome. See you, Mike. But yeah, Greg, that's why I see what happens here in about a week is football dominates, So I definitely wanted to get you on to talk some baseball. I love that you're a big football fan also because of football season coming up. But we're trying to give as much love as we can to baseball before football takes over. That's all.
Hey, baseball's going to go on a winning thing end of October. Come on now.
Oh, yeah.
I know, but it's like I just know how the show goes. It's tough.
We're all itching some football.
After Labor Day, it's really hard to start, chatting about baseball. We have to.
It might be hard being a Rockies fan, but being a Braves fan, I'm excited about the next couple of months.
If I was a Braves fan, I would too. Because I tell you,
Yes, sir. Yeah.
You guys got it, man. Like I said, and it's exciting though. Like I said, you got Baltimore, Tampa does it right, but you have to be bad before you can be good for a long time. And,
have you? Okay, I want to ask you. All right, real quick. Just have you ever seen? Every team in the AL East right now is like 5 games over 500. Have you ever seen a division that good ever, Greg? I've never seen that, where the last place team in the AL East would be the first place team in the AL Central.
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
It happens, man. You know what I mean? It happens. Hey, timing's off. Just like playing against Michael. You know what I mean? And when he had his run in Chicago, it is. Timing's everything.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, Greg, thank you so much for coming on. We'll have you back on soon. Football season.
Mr. Vaughn, you got to come back on, bro.
Yes, sir. That was awesome.
It's football season.
I'm back.
All right, guys.
Take
All
care.
right.
We'll talk about your 49ers.
I want to talk about them when Tom Brady becomes their starter.
Oh, my gosh.
All right. See you guys. Great show.
God bless America.
Later. Thank you.
See everybody next week. Bye.